let's say you have insurance, and you have a guitar that is. I don't want to frame it like that. We'll go. This is by the way, this is the second topic for the show.
Right.
If this happened to you, i.e., you had guitar stolen from you, and there was going to be no way for you to be reimbursed for that, what would you replace? What would you let go? Assuming you said assuming you are insured. So let's say you get an insurance payout and you have to replace your stuff.
That's right. So in other words, you're at ground zero.
So
and you have the value. Yep, go ahead.
So my insurance, the company I'm looking to go with, just for point of reference, they will cover basically the replacement cost, even if it's vintage, for that year. Okay, so they will get you back to basically what you had before. Right. You're not required to buy exactly that, but that's what your payout's going to be. So, in my boat, I would probably take my money, because I suspect I would have around, so I'd take my money, I'd buy a couple Kiesels. I would probably just order, I'd have to have something to play in the interim, so I'd probably buy something cheap, like an Ibanez, first, and it would be like an RG, something cheap, right? Like not something expensive. Probably, and I'd look for something with a bigger neck.
Right.
Just to play while I'm waiting. And then I would have Kiesel build me 2 or 3 of the guitars, basically, that I already had. Okay?
Right.
And it's just because, number one, I can get exactly what I want from them. And I've had good luck with them before. We've been going back and forth about that company. I know they were I think they were on the last episode.
Yeah.
Or I was talking about them in the last episode. And quite frankly, it's just bang for the buck. And then I would just go get the same amps I had. In fact, I would probably take some of the excess money because I'd have money left over, and I would probably just get a Mesa Badlander instead of the Mark V 25, and just a Fillmore combo. I don't even need all the cabinets. I mean, the Badlander would be I'd get a cabinet with that, but do a head and cab. Merle's made his appearance this evening.
Yep. Now, how about your pedals?
Pedal wise, I would probably, so that's going to be a problem. So and an interesting one, because I will have enough money to get a King of Tone. They will pay me the replacement value for that, which is $550 or whatever it is, the going market value. Right. So I would probably get very similar pedals. I don't think I would. Delay and reverb would be, what would I get for that? And I don't really know offhand. I know that I probably wouldn't buy another phaser. I would probably just get a nice Univibe. I would get another Sunface RCA. They're still making those. And I would get another King of Tone for sure. And probably the RMC Wah again. I might actually try to look for an older one. Just because the older ones had a 4 dB or a 3 dB boost on them. There's not a whole lot. I'd buy a different board. I wouldn't buy the same board I have. Yeah. And I would probably buy a different power supply. I'd buy the Pedal Power 3 Plus instead of the 2 Plus.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm relatively happy with what I have right now. The fact that I'm telling you that I'll probably just rebuy a lot of the same stuff I already have, it's pretty amazing. The Ethos, if that goes, I don't think I'd replace it. I'd probably put the money into something else because it's got sentimental attachment to me. So it's like, if that goes, why bother replace it?
Right.
There's a couple other pedals up there that are pretty irreplaceable. That orange one is I'm terrible with mirroring. This is a Barber Trifecta. They don't make that anymore. You can find them used every once in a while. Would probably seek out another one of those. That's the best Big Muff I've ever played. And then I got a pair of Pelletars. I got a special one-off that you can't see. It's just on a frame. That's a black edition, which he only did one time, and he did it for me. So I don't know that I would. I would probably just hit up Leon from Pelican Noise Works and be like, "Hey man, I heard you got them black Pelletars. I heard you could make me one." And then tell them my story. Yeah, I need one. Not to be insensitive to people who have addiction problems, but I would probably get another one.
No, we're doing the comedy thing that was done by a comedian. We are not being insensitive.
Yeah, I don't really have anything that's irreplaceable other than that maybe like the stuff I'm sentimentally attached to and the King of Tone. Because you just can't, like, who can justify buying a $320 pedal for $650 or whatever they're going for now?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So there's a couple of things that are irreplaceable as far as sentimental value to me. So I'll talk about that stuff first. So if everything was gone, the first thing is that big muff that I have, it's right down here. I could not replace that. That was a gift you gave me for Christmas a couple years ago. I couldn't replace that. That is not. I'm not keeping that because it's a big muff. I'm keeping it because it was a gift and because it means something very special to me. On the same token, I would not get rid of my Pelican Noiseworks 5050. That's something you sold to me. And we made a gentleman's agreement.
I was just going to give a gentleman's agreement on that.
That's right. You sold it to me at a value that you paid. And if I ever decided I didn't want it, it would go to you for
I'd buy it back at the same value.
That's right. So that is not really my pedal to give or to sell or to trade off. So that is your pedal as much as it is mine. So again, I could not get rid of that pedal. Matter of fact, it's going back on my board. I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I think that's important, the changes to the board that I've got coming up. Because I bought a Muffaletta, as you know.
Yeah. We can do that at the end because we can just put a recap segment at the end where we talk about stuff that's going on. And I have some things I want to announce. So
yeah. So my board, as far as my pedals go, nothing on there. Nothing on my board is irreplaceable. Nothing. I got a Tumnus and a Ratsbane and all that stuff. None of that stuff is irreplaceable. It's all. I don't even know if I would buy it all. I don't know if I would go and get a Keeley Darkside again. I have mine. I'm not going to sell it because I don't want to lose money on it. But I don't know if I'd buy another one. So, it's kind of weird holding on to it. And we'll talk about that at the end. I would not buy two Les Paul Standards. Both of these I have because that's a one-off. That's a unicorn, and that is a one-off. I mean, to me, it's a one-off. That's my baby. That's my number one. So I can't get rid of those. They're my babies. They're staying. I have no emotional attachment to the other guitars, emotionally. So I may not buy another SG. I love my SG, and I'm keeping my SG. There's no way I would get my money back out of my SG. And I'm not going to get rid of it because it's a great guitar. It's a fun guitar. The double cut, I probably wouldn't buy it again. I can be honest with you. I can take it or leave it.
I told you, like, that's just not, it's not a Les Paul.
Yeah.
It's like its own thing.
I think when I go to get a Tele, finally get a Tele that I really like.
That might be the guitar that gets,
the DC would probably go. The 335. I don't know if I'd buy another one. I love it, but it's not my number one. But I do know this. That one's not going anywhere because it's one of those things where I look at it and I go, I don't play it as much as I do the other guitars, but I got to be honest. That's one of those guitars that people who are Gibson guys like myself,
they sort of covet. Yeah.
That's your guitar. And so that's not going anywhere. The bass, I'd probably buy the exact same bass. I love that bass. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just a bass. And I'm putting a drop D tuner in it in black chrome. So that would probably just get bought straight up again. Same exact bass. So again, just like you, I don't have
well, Jim, you've gone on a journey on this show. Like, Jim has gone through 4 or 5 complete rigs in the 3 or 4 years we've been doing this show. And you can go back to the, through the 200 episodes and you can see the variations of what was going on there. And it's like, I think you've sort of reached a level of maturity with the gear that you have right now where, yeah, some things are going to come and go. But the reality is like, you know what you like now. You don't have to really go through these big tirades of exploring things, and you don't let people like me talk you into stuff that you don't like, and I try not to anyway. Yeah. So, for what it's worth.
Yeah, and as far as my amps go, I love my Marshall. I gotta be honest with you. If I had all the amps gone, I'd probably go get like a JCM and a 2x12 and be done with that.
Yeah, because it would be a step up, but it's like it's not really that different from what you have right now, really.
No, and that's why I'm not going to run out. And again, the only amp I'm even thinking about I've thought about going out with is the Twin. We've talked about that before, and that's going to be when I go to get my California Tweed or my California. I'm getting a Mesa, so I'm going to get a Boogie. The Boogie will replace the Twin, and that will be either Fillmore or the California.
Oh, you watch my clip, huh?
Yeah. Well, your clip. There's several Fillmore clips. The Fillmore, for those who don't know, is a relatively new addition to.
It's a wild amp. It actually came out right before the California did.
Yeah,
about 6 months before.
So those are two amps that are very high on my list as far as desirable. There is a Dr. Z Maz 18 available locally that's within my grasp.
The Maz is okay. If it's a Mark II, unless it's a Mark II, I wouldn't do it.